Hello, welcome to episode number 1 of my weekly vlogs. As you guys know, I've done several daily vlogs, and due to schedule restraints and quality control, I've decided to do weekly vlogs just so I can have more time to think about, my topics and whatnot and be able to give the best quality content that I can. I'm going to hopefully be able to start editing videos and stuff soon too, so hopefully that'll be able to make things just a little bit better. So today we're talking about drugs, alcohol, and our vices, okay? So this one is huge, right? 60% or so of my entire life has involved drugs and alcohol, and let me tell you, they've taught me so much over the years, and they've also given me so much pain when I didn't respect them in the past. Now, if you think that I'm going to sit here and tell you not to do drugs and alcohol, you are sadly mistaken, right? Although I don't necessarily condone it because it affects everyone differently, and some people can't handle it in the way that I'm about to describe it. They need to totally abstain to achieve stability, and I understand that completely, okay? Trust me, I've been to plenty of AA and NA meetings in my life, and let me tell you, sometimes there's no other choice but to be completely sober. Now, with that being said, I believe there's a difference between using drugs and enjoying drugs and alcohol. So what do you mean by that? So when I say using drugs, right, drugs and alcohol, that means you use them as a coping mechanism, an escape, and like a numbing agent to your emotions, right? A lot of people use them because they're in the middle of a painful event of some sort, and they want to bitch out, and they want to turn towards a vice to distract them from dwelling and thinking about that problem, okay? You're just forcing yourself to fail and regress, in my opinion. If you're constantly seeking a relief from the pain of a hard day, the pain of a breakup, the pain of anything, then, you're just weak, right? I mean, you're just a weak-ass individual, and I say that in the most loving way because, you know I'm right, you know I am. I'm right because I'm pushing nothing but growth here, okay? I'm not trying to put you down for no reason, and just insult you for no reason. It's just sometimes you have to hear the answers in a way that you don't want to hear because the truth hurts, and trust me, I know the feeling because I was once in the same position, okay? So the only way we acquire strength is by attacking our weaknesses and facing adversity head on, okay? When you bask in the pain, when you've done more than you could ever do, and the only thing left is to do more, that's how you force to level up, okay? So the next time you have a hard day at work or whatever, or whatever the case, and you turn to that vice and to try to solve your problem, okay? And I say solve in quotations because it doesn't solve anything. It just numbs the emotion and pain required to actually force yourself to find a solution, So think about what you're doing, because drugs and alcohol need to be respected as resources of social enjoyment and earned experiences, okay, that you force yourself to be disciplined to handle, like knowing your limits and whatnot, and to not allow it to be self-prescribed pain medicine, okay? So when I say to enjoy it, what does that mean, you might ask? So drugs and alcohol, when used properly, right, when the experience is earned and not just another day, it can be an incredible experience, right? Obviously. I mean, that's without being said. Trust me, I know it feels the best when it's used at the right times for the right reasons. Going out for drinks and dancing like, how I enjoy to do, or, however you enjoy, doing what you like to do under the influence, you know what I mean? When you find time, right? Not just giving it time, when you find time. It makes you enjoy it, that much more. So find a balance, right? Life is all about balance, but you need to be, if you need to be completely sober to be successful, then do that. There's nothing wrong with not doing what you shouldn't do to be better, okay? Not everybody is built the same, especially when it comes to drugs and alcohol, because your tolerance to them and how you react to them in your life is like literally broken down to your DNA, okay? So there's no shame. But for me, following my passion and learning new things is a better feeling for me than any drugs or alcohol could provide, because it's an intoxication of the soul. It's different. So do not self-medicate, okay? Use drugs and alcohol for what they were meant for, not what they're abused into. And if you can't do that, then think about what you're willing to trade for it. You know what I mean? And instead of being sober, you rather trade your family, your relationship, your children's upbringing, your sanity, your physical health, your mental health. I mean, trust me, it's not worth it. So start taking control of your vices. Now, a vice isn't just pertaining to drugs and alcohol, okay? Like a vice by definition is a moral, failing or a bad habit of any kind. And what that means can be viewed differently depending on what our morals are. So anything can be a vice if it's a negative action resulting from actions previously. Our vices will constantly pull us back from the edge of growth every time you're on the verge of it. So like, for example, right, to give you like a visualization. So it's kind of like you're at the front gate of an amusement park and they keep letting you in, stopping you, telling you to leave, and then say, oh, just kidding, and then letting you in and then stopping you and so on. So you'll be shocked, how over time your vices have kept you locked in time, right? Locked in regression and locked in your negative habits. So learn what your vices are, So how do I do that, right? Find out the habits you have that are associated with hard times. It could be anything, it could be emotions, like anger or whatever. It could be overeating, like eating shitty food because you're stressed out or something. It could be drugs and alcohol like we talked about, but realizing it is the first step in working on finding healthier options for yourself to promote growth. So in closing, drugs, alcohol, and our vices can be seriously detrimental to our lives if not handled properly. So start taking it day by day and attacking your vices, and you'll notice how much stronger you get when you actually force yourself to deal with your problems instead of just avoiding them and distracting yourself from them. Alright guys, so that is the end of my first episode of my weekly vlogs. I really hope you enjoyed it and you got something from it. Hopefully you were able to get some kind of positivity from it in these rough times. I know things are getting pretty out of control right now, but just remember to stay strong and to take care of yourself. And I will see you guys, next Monday. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Bye.